Families and guests, welcome again to today's graduation ceremony for the College Pathways class of 2021. A year ago, for those that attended last year's ceremony, we were staring at a wall at New Life Church with a slideshow of the seniors projected on the building. We were just a few months into the pandemic. And while that ceremony worked, I'm grateful we can be here today in person, outside, and that the weather is cooperating. I wish it was a little bit cooler, maybe a little cloudier, but it's okay, at least we're here today. My name is Justin Peterson. I'm the principal of College Pathways. Thank you again for being here today to celebrate this chapter in our students' lives. Will you please turn your attention towards the school building as we welcome our staff and soon-to-be graduates. Welcome, staff and students. Seniors, a special welcome and congratulations to you. We're going to begin our ceremony today with the Pledge of Allegiance. The flag is over there to my right. If you'll turn your attention to that. I pledge allegiance. Thank you. You may be seated. Thank you again, everybody, for being here today for today's graduation ceremony. Before we continue, I want to take a moment to recognize our special guests up front. Today, we're joined by TCA President Dr. Russ Sojourner, TCA Board Chair Rob Moulton, TCA Board Director Dr. Terrence Andre, and District 20 Board Director Tom LaValle. Thank you for being here today. While that shelf cloud forms to my right, we're going to try to get through this ceremony a little faster than normal. Seniors, just over a week ago, many of you were at Lost Island trying to decide if it was worth risking injury to scale the warped wall. Even the 8-foot one was scary, and several of you cowered in fear. Those were simpler times, and here you are today, on the verge of finishing your high school career. We know this year has been incredibly challenging, but you guys have persevered, and today probably means more to you than you thought it would because of the year you've had. Congratulations, seniors, for being here today, for persevering through truly difficult circumstances these last 15 months. College Pathways has a great tradition of having our students perform a musical selection at each graduation. And today we welcome CP seniors Olivia Baker and Callie Kay. They will be performing For Good from the Broadway play Wicked.
I've heard it said that people come into our lives for a reason, bringing something we must learn, and we are led to those who help us most grow if we let them, and we help them in return. Well, I don't know if I believe that's true, but I know I'm who I am today because I knew you. Like a comet pulled from orbit as it passes the sun, like a stream that meets a boulder halfway through the wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? Because I knew you. I have been changed for good. It well may be that we will never meet again in this lifetime. So let us say before we part, so much of me was made from what I learned from you. You'll be with me like a handprint on my heart. And now whatever way our story the better. But because I knew you, because I knew you, I have been changed for good. And just to clear the air, I ask forgiveness for the things I've done you blame me for. But then I guess we know there's blame to share, and none of it seems to matter anymore. Like a bomb in a cold, like a shipwreck as it passes by a wind of sea, like a siege of my body with the word. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? I do believe I have been changed for the better. Because I knew you, because I knew you, because I knew you, I have been changed for good.
You know, earlier I was going to suggest that maybe Mr. Peterson and I would do a duet, but after hearing that, we'll wait for next year. Thanks, Callie and Olivia. That was wonderful. Oh. Uh-oh. We're in trouble now. If I lose my comments, this is going to be a long time because I'm going to go down some rabbit trails. Wow, class of 2021, what a year. Demonstrating the importance of proper punctuation. That would be, what, a year? Sure seemed longer to me, holy cow. This is the 12th year for College Pathways, and I was thinking back to our very first graduating class in 2010. At my age, thinking back normally means to sometime last week, so this was really noteworthy. But we had 17 students, and the ceremony was in the East Elementary gym. The sides of the gym were lined with tables loaded with memorabilia representing each of the graduates' lifetime accomplishments. And even with families attending, we still had room left over. Most of those graduates were homeschoolers. Ironically, most of you became homeschoolers for at least a portion of this year. As we've grown as a school, so have many of you grown along with us. Some of you have been with College Pathways since 7th grade. Others joined along the way. 16 of you graduating today are 13-year Titans, being part of the TCA family since kindergarten. Would you please stand? You 13, please stand. Thank you. Well, regardless of your academic roots, we've all become family. It's been exciting to watch you grow, both physically and as competent individuals. Parents, thank you for entrusting us with your most precious possessions and allowing us to partner with you in bringing your sons and daughters into adulthood. I'm going to digress for just a second here. So please bear with me. Students graduating this year were, for the most part, born, 2002, 2003. Here are a few facts that I found interesting. This year's graduates have only experienced in the history books, or more likely in the History Channel. Students in the class of 21 never lived in the 21st century, or the 20th century. When you see someone wearing round wire-rimmed glasses, you think of Harry Potter, not John Denver or John Lennon. You never lived in a world, in fact, without Harry Potter. You're younger than SpongeBob SquarePants. How does that make you feel? You were only 2 years old when YouTube was launched, and you were only 4 when the first iPhone was released. This part's more for parents and grandparents. Here are some famous people who died the year that our graduates were born. You may recognize some of these names. Bob Hope, Johnny Cash, June Carter Cash, Katharine Hepburn, John Ritter, Gregory Peck, Art Carney, Althea Gibson, great female tennis player, Fred Rogers, Mr. Rogers. How about that? I marvel at how far we've come, and I'm excited to see where we go with some of you in the class of 2021 leading the way and creating new breakthroughs. You guys are a remarkable class. Again, it wasn't supposed to be this way or end this way, but despite the bumpy ending and the bumps throughout the year, let me share with all of you just how remarkable this class is. About a fourth of our class began classes at Pikes Peak Community College in the 10th grade. And over the course of 4 years, you all have completed 4,069 college credits. Now that's remarkable in itself, but let's factor in that over that period of time, you succeeded in those classes at a 96% success rate. That means grades A, B, C. Okay, that's huge. And I think just as remarkable is the fact that in this year, as strange as it was, you still had a 93% success rate. And that's truly a remarkable thing. So congratulate yourselves, graduates. So you have averaged about 43 credit hours per student, or 13 to 14 college classes. So parents, those are classes you don't have to pay for at the 4-year college rate. "34 of our graduates this year are National Honor Society members. You've received over $700,000 worth of scholarships, and that's only from the 25% of you who responded to the question asking, did you get a scholarship? So you know it's a lot more than that, okay? We got 1 National Merit Scholar. We have at least 1 student going on to Air Force ROTC, 10, and again, at least 10, because not everyone responded, at least 10 have achieved associate's degrees at Pikes Peak Community College. So what's next? We'll be looking at what your plans are. We've got folks who will be pursuing careers in fine arts, education, medicine, veterinary medicine, engineering, criminal justice, business, health and nutrition, computer programming. We have 2 graduates today headed toward military careers, 1 already that I mentioned for Air Force ROTC, and one of our graduates graduated a little early. He's already on duty serving with the United States Marine Corps. And we have 13 students today who are staying with us in the Ascent program, which allows them an additional year at College Pathways to finish out an associate's degree. So that's a pretty neat thing. Well, there you have it. If it were just a couple words, if there were a couple words that would exemplify the class of 21, they would be tenacious and persistent. With the finish line in sight, the rules suddenly changed. The class held on, they persevered, and they finished strong. You finished strong. Congratulations, class of 2021.
Thanks, Raleigh. Every year our seniors decide on a senior speaker to speak at graduation. I just heard what you said, Olivia. I want to welcome Olivia Ballman to the stage. Olivia was chosen by her classmates to speak to the class.
Good afternoon, everyone. As Mr. Peterson stated, my name is Olivia Ballman, and I have been given the great privilege and opportunity to speak to you all on this momentous occasion. I want to begin by thanking our teachers and staff. They have shown incredible perseverance through the toughest school year ever. I really look up to and admire you all for the tenacity, dedication, and determination that you all have displayed this year. I especially want to commend our principal, Justin Peterson, for his outstanding leadership. As the principal of TCA College Pathways, you have countless responsibilities, not to mention the new ones added since COVID erupted. However, despite the extra load of challenges, you handled this year with great integrity. And I have to say, I am so thankful to have an individual like yourself leading at our school. Finally, I want to acknowledge parents. You all have poured so much into our lives since day one, and you have been an essential component to our success. Thank you. When I began writing this speech, I started looking back at my yearbooks. And it just blew me away how much we have all changed and grown up. I couldn't help but laugh at how little we all used to look. I can hardly believe that our high school journey began just a short 4 years ago. It feels like a lifetime away now. I remember as a freshman thinking about seniors and how old they were, and how far away graduation was from that point in my life. But now I'm here, and I'm speaking to all of you, and wondering where in the world all of that time went. CP hasn't always been easy. Looking back though, I can now see how this program was preparing me for my future. One thing I've always held deep appreciation for in the CP program is the fact that it grows you, not only academically, but as a person. I attribute a substantial amount of my personal growth, development, and character to the community here at CP. And for that, I want to extend my gratitude. College Pathways is truly a unique program, and I am so grateful to have been a part of it. One of the most unique attributes about this school is the different paths it allows each of us to take. As concurrently enrolled students, we begin thinking about our futures much earlier than traditionally schooled students. Being a CP student means learning how to work hard and persevere. It means realizing teachers as more than just educators. It means upholding the values of the Titan Creed, building character and community, while learning how to love, respect, and protect one another. Being a CP student also means making sure you bring enough cheese for Mr. Parch's wine, owning Mr. Peterson and Foursquare, befriending the beloved Hat Gang, and laughing at the hilarious nicknames that Coach Vance makes up for us. And, on rare occasions, unclogging a sink of curdled milk with Mr. Nelson. Being a CP student also means surviving 6-hour-long classes, such as History Comm, to earn those 5 coveted college credit hours. And for some of us, it means having our college graduation precede our high school graduation. Being a CP student means seeing dozens of familiar faces around PPCC, carpooling to get Dutch Bros and Chick-fil-A, in and out at midnight, but best of all, CP means living life to the fullest. If you've been around to experience the last year and a half, though, you know that our lives have been anything but full. It's really hard to believe that we've already passed the 1-year anniversary of, as we kids like to call it, the Rona. I vividly remember the last day of school before everything shut down. We were just laughing at all of the chaos and absurdity happening around us. It's all we could do at the time. We were laughing about how we were going to get a 2-week spring break. I don't know about you guys, but this season has left me with one burning question. Why? Why did a global pandemic hit in my most important years of high school? Did it come to just ruin my junior and senior year out of spite? I'm a good person. Why would a pandemic do this to me? I desperately tried to find answers to these questions. What was the purpose of all of this? The challenges I walked through this last year were some of the toughest I've experienced in my life. Oddly enough, though, I don't know that I would change anything, even if I could. And here are 3 reasons why. 1, if it hadn't been for the Rona, I wouldn't have taken a trip to Florida, where my first interest for videography was sparked. 2, I think I can safely speak for us all when I say we hate Zoom classes with a passion. But, much to my surprise, online classes opened up the entire graphic design department at PPCC without me having to travel all the way to the Centennial campus. Because of this situation, my passion for the graphic design field was awakened, and I discovered a clear path for what I wanted to pursue in college. 3. If it hadn't been for those nights where I cried my eyes out because of widespread cancellation and isolation, I wouldn't have conceived the idea for Project When Life Gives You Lemons. This project enabled me to inject positivity and encouragement into the CP community that I have come to value so much. It also taught me how to step outside of my comfort zone for the good of others. Had it not been for this season, I wouldn't have understood how fulfilling and rewarding it is to encourage others. I say all of this not to boast, but to encourage you all to find what the purpose was for you going through this season. I think the biggest mistake we could make as we emerge from this pandemic would be to look back on it as just a miserable experience, void of all meaning and value. My friends, do not make this mistake. Don't let the 2020-21 school year leave a sour taste in your mouth. Let not your hearts be discouraged, because there is a reason and there is a purpose behind every bit of it. In other words, don't be satisfied with the so-called wisdom of Olaf the Snowman, believing that this will all make sense when I am older. And so, here we are, about to cross one of the most significant thresholds in our lives in just a matter of minutes. I'm so very proud of our graduating class and the resiliency that you have all shown. I think sometimes our generation has a reputation for choosing comfort above all else. It has been said that we Gen Zers haven't had anything hard happen in our lives. Some might even describe us as pansies. But what have we shown this year? In the last year and a half, we have endured a global pandemic, a global shutdown, an unprecedented quarantine, and I won't even mention the maskne, or acne because of masks. We have gone through perhaps the loneliest and most isolated time ever to occur in history, and we have been forced to adapt to endless unwelcome changes. May it never be said that the class of 2021 never endured hard times. We have displayed the most admirable perseverance, positivity in the midst of adversity, incredible grit and work ethic, and commendable adaptation to rapid and chaotic changes I think the world has ever seen. We are truly a unique class, and I wouldn't trade graduating with you all for anything. No longer will we be labeled as pansies. We are marked forever by resiliency. But you want to know an interesting fact about pansies? Pansies are some of the toughest flowers when it comes to harsh weather. In fact, pansies have great tolerance for and can even thrive under harsh conditions. They can sometimes even withstand temperatures down to single digits. So perhaps the pansy label isn't so misused. After all, it has been said, the flower that blooms in adversity is the rarest and beautiful of all. I wish the very best for each and every one of you. I am both blessed and proud to have had you as classmates these last 4 years. CP has prepared us so well for our futures. So get ready for your next big step. I have a feeling this next season of our lives is about to be the best one yet. Thank you.
Thank you, Olivia. Thanks for reflecting on this past year and the last 4, and for letting us know about maskne being a real concern. We have one final speech today, and that will be from our staff member, Tammy Tomer. She's one of our college advisors. Every year, seniors get to vote for the staff that gets to speak at graduation, and Tammy was chosen again this year.
Hi, friends. Thank you so much for choosing me for being your class speaker. That was really sweet. I'm humbled. I'm honored. Okay, so now what do we say to these graduates who already know everything? Is that right, parents? Yeah, of course. So I'm going to speak from my heart. And the cool part is, I was talking to Mr. Heist the other day, and I said, I'm gonna talk for like 45 minutes. And he said, oh, that's okay, as long as you speak into our hearts. So here we go. I went to my office and I wrote 10 more pages. Thank you, Mr. Heist. All right, all joking aside, I want everybody in here to think of all the role models you've ever had in your life. They're like your superheroes, right? I'm gonna tell you a little secret. So are you. You are a superhero. And I think you just need to add some tools to your tool belt. I have to put this down because it's windy, but I went to the Walmart today and I got me a tool belt. Gotta get my papers back out here. There goes the sunscreen. Oh my goodness. All right. So, you are a superhero that others will follow. And I'm gonna give you a huge superpower, and that's the power of choice. I'm gonna recommend some tools for your tool belt, and it's your choice if you wanna use them. First of all, I think right now, you might have some tools in there from this last year. I already have some ready. I got regret. I got some COVID laziness. I got some anger. Walmart gave me these. I have excuses. And I have some shake my heads at some of the decisions our government leadership may have made. I want you to throw all of those tools away, except maybe the shake my head. I'm gonna keep that one because we might be doing that a little bit more. So, luckily, I have some good tools for you. Number 1, flexibility. Putting it in the belt. Most of you are already flexible, because it's a CP rite of passage, in case you didn't know, to take yoga at PPCC. See, it's a whole thing. Everybody takes yoga, I don't know why. So you're already flexible in that aspect. But the kind of flexibility I'm talking about is what employers say. Keep an open mind, be receptive to change, willing to learn new ways to reach goals, improvise, experiment, adjust your typical style of working based on the situation that you're given. What if your to-do list changes? Is that okay? Imagine if all your professors had been flexible and adapted to their situation over this past year. Might it have changed, or dare I say, improved your class experience? Since the only constant in the world is change, I know this is challenging, because in this world that no longer tries to teach you the skills to be flexible, but instead tries to shape the world to conform to you, this is a challenge. But I say you flip the script, because, well, there's reality. Okay, with the wind. I mean, I told everyone I talked to God about this, and there wasn't supposed to be any. Okay, number 2, resilience. Olivia just said you all had it. Raise your hand, and parents can too, if you've ever had experienced or have heard of anything bad happening in the world that's affected your life. Anybody? Guess what? Chances are another bad thing could happen. So what are you gonna do? Despite what some say, you do have choices. You can choose to tackle a problem to make the best of a situation, or you can choose for the situation to get the best of you. If you have a bad professor, you can choose to make the best of the class, advocate for yourself, and challenge when necessary, or you can choose to whine, complain, and fail the course because it didn't live up to your standards. If you have a bad boss or coworker, you can choose to communicate, resolve the conflict, seek understanding, or you can choose to whine, complain, and quit your job. If we have another pandemic or something similar, you can choose to get creative and make the best of it, or you can choose to whine, complain, and let it consume you. If you fail, and you probably will at least one more time in your life, you can choose to own it, learn from it, make the necessary changes, and move on. Or you can write a list of all the people you can blame for your mistake and never grow. The choices are yours to make. Another choice is your attitude. Did your parents ever mention anything about your attitude to you? Like say, have a good one, anything like that? And you said, what the heck does that even mean? I remember my mother used to punish me, and she would say, you should be smiling. What the heck? You just grounded me. I want to see a smile on your face. I guess that's where my positive attitude came from. What exactly is a positive attitude? Well, Success Consciousness, which is a cool website, it states a positive attitude is a mindset that helps you see and recognize opportunities. It's optimism, remaining positive, and they said it's essential to happiness, joy, and progress in life. People who have positive attitudes are easier to get along with, are happy, and spread joy around them. They do not dwell on problems of the past. They're confident and always try to find ways to overcome obstacles. I mean, sign me up, right? Seems pretty cool. This is a great quote from psychologist Lee Colin. He said, "You are the conductor of your own attitude. No one can compose your thoughts for you." And I would add, unless you let them. When you're around people who are speaking negativity into your life, those words are just noise unless you choose to assign them meaning. It's your choice whether you allow others to turn your attitude on life into a positive or a negative one. The next thing I want you to add to your two belt is to know your worth. Knowing your worth is a very personal thing, and it really has nothing to do with anyone else. It's your internal measure of how you value yourself, regardless of what other people might think or say to you. People may label you, whether they mean to or not, and then it's your choice to believe that label or to rise above it. If you have a disability, does that mean you are less than? Absolutely not. If people put you down because you've made mistakes, are you less than? Absolutely not, because guess what? Those people have made just as many mistakes as you have. And if your dreams and passions take on a different path than what was expected, are you less than? Absolutely not. Believe me when I tell you this. Each of you are a beautiful creation, and you are loved. You are. So, now, with all this, I want you to maintain some humility. Take your self-worth and couple it with self-evaluation. Once in a while, ask yourself, how am I doing? Is there anything in my life I can improve upon? Can I try a little harder in my classes? Maybe make a little change at work? Maybe make some improvements. Maybe I could call my mom some more. Just saying, I know. They do that, those kids do that. Once you learn how to do this, you'll be strong enough to handle feedback and evaluations from others. So be that person who can receive feedback and constructive criticism from others without kind of crumbling into a mushy pile. If you kind of cry every time a professor or a boss tries to help you and improve you, they're going to stop giving you that feedback, which is so valuable. It's such a powerful tool. So be that person that can receive that feedback. The couple more things I want you to take with you and put in your two belt. The first is silliness. I want you to remember to be silly. Life is short and much is expected of you, so always remember to have fun, laugh, joke, and find other people who think you're funny. They're really fun to be around, and then you can make them laugh too. Pack in some gratitude into your belt, because guess what? You did not get to where you are today alone. Throughout your whole life, you have had cheerleaders by your side. I know we're celebrating you today, but when we're done, you need to go thank your parents, your grandparents, your siblings, aunts, uncles, friends, teachers and pastors, and even your dogs and cats. Whoever helped you on your journey of life deserves thanks from you. And they're not done, because they're going to continue to cheer for you after graduation. So always remember to thank them for their service. Finally, I want you to pack what I would call God with you. I'm just saying, in my personal opinion, putting God or your particular higher power first, taking time for prayer or meditation can save your life. Packing all these tools and becoming the best person you can be will help so many others, because whether you know it or not, you are always a role model, and you're always going to be somebody's superhero. A really quick story I heard once. This was back when I was in Minot, North Dakota, so it was a hot minute ago. I was listening to a radio station, and they said there was a man, he was a pastor of a church, and this pastor was shopping at Christmas time. You know how fun that can be. And he had to get home really quickly. So he was in a line, of course, for a good half hour to purchase this gift his wife sent him out to get. And when he got to the cash, he paid for his item, the cashier gave him change, and he left. He went into the car and he noticed the cashier had actually given him $20 too much. So he had a dilemma right now. He had to be somewhere, but he had to go bring that money back in, that meant standing in line, which lines are awful, let's just be honest. So he thought about it for a minute. He went back into the store, he waited in line forever in that same cashier's line and said, "Ma'am, you gave me $20, I don't want you to get in trouble. Here's your $20 back." And she looked at him straight in the face and said, "Sir, I know I did that on purpose. I was at your church last week and you gave a sermon on integrity. I just wanted to see if you had it. You're always a role model, no matter what. Someone's always looking up to you." So, on behalf of everyone who works at CP, let me tell you, we love you, we're proud of you, and we will always be here for you. Congratulations, graduating class of 2021.
Thank you, Tammy. Is anybody hot? Okay, let's get to why we're all here today, seniors. At this time, I want to invite up Dr. Russ Sojourner, TCA President, to the stage. Thanks, Mr. Peterson.
Usually on this day, I get quite a bit weepy. I've been to 17 years worth of TCA graduations. Most of those years, there have been 2 graduations. I get weepy because I think about my own kids, and I think about where you're sitting, and I think about when they graduated many, many, many years ago. And I think about their journey into adulthood, and I picture these kids, and that usually gets me weepy. This year I was weepy for a different reason. I never thought today was going to get here. I had a 5th grade teacher at East Elementary email me last night, and she's also a TCA mom, and she said, "There's no possible way we were going to get through this year without more chaos than we actually had." I wasn't sure whether today was going to get here. I wasn't sure whether we were going to be in cars looking at a wall. I wasn't sure whether we would have graduation at all, and I'm so proud of these young men and women. I'm proud of the staff at CP. We're here, and I appreciate that very, very much. I got a second email early this morning from a Central Elementary teacher. She sent me this quote from one of her 2nd grade students. This young lady told her mom last night before she went to bed, "I don't want to fall asleep because when I wake up, it will be the last day of school. Can you please tell Mrs. DeMeyer, the principal at Central Elementary, to please extend the school year?" Can you imagine that? Young men and women asking if we could please extend the school year? That's how our perspectives change over the years. I'm really glad to be here. I'm really glad that I get to do this formal part of the ceremony. Mr. Moulton, would you please come up? Mr. Peterson, Mrs. Hilly, Mr. Stoneman, teachers, thank you for your excellent work in preparing these students for this most important day. As TCA's president, it is with great pride that I present this College Pathways program class of 2021 with assurance that each of these young men and women have met all of the high school graduation requirements of the Classical Academy and the state of Colorado. I therefore recommend that Mr. Rob Moulton, Chair of the TCA Board of Directors, declare these students graduates of the Classical Academy College Pathways class of 2021.
Thank you, Doctor. Let's take a moment just to reflect that this has been a year for the ages. We've had times of hope, times of disappointment. We've had moments where we've needed to follow, and moments when we've needed to lead and challenge our authorities, times of isolation and times of freedom Can we get an amen for that? But students, you've handled each challenge very well, with patience, with perseverance, as you've heard, resilience, and with grace. You've been a light to others in a place that could otherwise be very dark. So it is with great pride that I accept, on behalf of our board of directors, these students as bona fide graduates of the Classical Academy College Pathways class of 2021. Congratulations, students.
Okay, seniors and parents, we are going to begin our diploma presentation. Seniors, a reminder, please take your cue from Ms. Toma and take her lead. And parents, Mrs. Steiner will help you out as well over there. Miss Nikki Upchurch will be reading seniors' names today, and I'll call her to the stage right now, and we will begin.
So proud of this class. Joshua Thomas Alifat. Jamie Adela Anderson. Olivia Grace Baker. Olivia Grace Ballman. Zachary Thomas Bath. Shepherd Cohen Bennett. Avegea Henry Hovna Bergman. Sarah Grace Biskner. Faith Elizabeth Brandt. Nathan Jeffrey Brock. Kinsley Celeste Bullock. Kristen Virginia Cameron. Anna Elizabeth Casson. Jaden Elise Chambers. Isaiah Payton Foreman. Caroline Faith Knapp. Anna Corrine Dates. Jordan Leanne Embry. Eliana Joy Enos. Accepting on Eliana's behalf is her twin sister, who will also be being celebrated today as a College Pathways graduate, Victoria Grace Enos. Liv Marie Light. Ruth Ann Elizabeth Fox. Abigail Elizabeth Fries. Zabel Ann Germano. Elijah Leo Ka Ikena Okala Lea Kamaliola Goeth. Hayden Michael Griffin. Jonathan David Hare. Brenner Hamilton Haley. River Shane Henriquez. Jonathan Ju Yong Ho. Joshua Caleb Holt. Hunter Christian Herbeck. Maggie Elizabeth Huddleston. Anna Grace Jarrett. Taylor Grace Jennings. Emery's Diana Johnson. Maya Rose Kane. Kelly Lauren Kay. Jaden Luke Kelsey. Caden Michael Croker. Emily Ann Lusig. Got a girl there. Hunter Stephen Wayne Lindell. Kiana May Healani Luhan. Ladies and gentlemen, because of the weather, we're going to speed up, so we're going to walk faster, okay? Lauren Ashley May. Nicholas Scott Marshall. Kiana Joy Martinell. Evan James Meyer. Kobe Jiren Miles. Catherine Arabella Miller. Eden Joy Winland Ogren. Caden Elias Ji-hyung Park. Levi Walter Perkins. Garrett Joseph Palenzi. Kaylin Christine Powers. Avery Karen Pretty. Chelsea Blue Rarden. Anna Mackenzie Romine. Olivia Jane Ruth. Ashton Blaine Sands. Nicholas Alexander Stapp. Olivia Noel Slaybaugh. Ainsley Marie Smith. Stephen Joel Sorensen. Joseph Thomas Stapleton. Tyler Francis Stark. Benjamin Dean Steiner.
We're using my phone. We're using my phone.
Bristol Catherine Strassner. Avalon Janae Vance. Jackson Lane Webb. Kobe William Welty. Alexandra Lynn Whitland. I know. Devin Henry Whiting. Allison Brooke Williams. Seniors, if you haven't gotten your pictures yet, you can come back and have a seat and then take them after the ceremony. Connor James Wilson. Caden Craig Wilson. These are twin brothers. Anna Christine Wolf. Kaylee Michelle Warmack. Emma Michelle Wright.
Hey seniors, if you're waiting in line for your photo, you can do that afterwards. I'd like to announce the class because the weather is unpredictable right now. There's been a common theme today in the various speeches we've heard about resiliency and tenacity. And those ideals can't be understated. This has been an incredibly challenging year. And seniors, again, congratulations for making it today. And now you're graduates. I did have an entire chapter from a book I wanted to read, but I think I'll put that on hold, again, because of the weather. And so we'll get to really the reason why we're here, graduates, is to congratulate you. Seniors, you've done it. Parents and family members, staff and guests, please join me in celebrating the College Pathways class of 2021. Congratulations, graduates. Staff, at this time, you can begin the recessional. Graduates, you can now exit down the 50-yard line. Graduates, you can exit down the 50-yard line.